Greetings, friends. This is still March 15th. I've been doing about a video a day. While it's fresh in my mind, though, I want to talk about my foray downtown to visit with John Driscoll and his um, system science department. He gave a presentation about using fractal concepts, including Hausdorff dimension, in creating new buildings or maybe redesigning older ones. Could an architect get in a feedback loop with a software tool that could sort of create um, a realistic level of detail using fractal techniques that the architect could then use kind of as clay and sculpt and sort of give feedback to the machine as to how they want to go? It's very intuitive work, but John has made some progress, including with a real building in Ithaca, New York, that he used a fractal generating tool to help him design for a competition. It didn't win the competition, but he learned a lot in the process. Unfortunately, I took a whole bunch of pictures, and then my SD card just started acting up. This has not happened. I maybe popped it out of the camera when I shouldn't have. It took me about an hour to then find how to format the card. I finally found this comment on Flickr, but anyway, I lost all of the pictures I took today, so no pictures from Harder House or from the lunch we went to afterwards. Was a good experience. Today was the climate change protest, so there were kids downtown doing a big worldwide protest against um, people not doing anything. The perception is lots of talk and no action. And here's the blog post I wrote when I got home about what John Driscoll is up to in his thesis. I have a couple embedded YouTubes that are suggestive. They're not by John. They're just meant to play on the themes of what he talked about. His techniques seem to be applicable not only to generating individual buildings, but cityscapes. And as you know, I'm really into spherical planet-shaped cities, or you could say cities on which or planets on which computer-generated cities have taken place, kind of as a prelude perhaps to a game. So the terrain is generated randomly, the oceans, the seas, and then there's a lot of maybe cities that get created based on certain rules. Perhaps what you're studying are what rules create the best, coolest cities, kind of feng shui sort of study of aesthetics. Where would the power grids, where would the power sources need to be? SimCity was a great game. And what I'm thinking is when kids get together now in a computer lab where I teach a lot, they all want to play with each other in the same multi-user domain, which used to mean a simple text-based environment. But of course today, all kinds of commercial games do let them join each other in some kind of virtual world, and I'm thinking that's where we need to put a lot of effort into creating simulations of like cities and planets, ecosystems, so power grids, sewer systems, all the infrastructure that we're used to, we can sort of share with the younger set and with adults in the form of games. What used to be board games can now be also augmented with computer games. Sometimes board games are very instructive as well. I don't mean to discount other forms of games. So that's kind of where my head's at after a useful day exposing myself to system science and architecture. Some architecture students came over. They'd heard about that John was giving this talk, and they asked if they could join us. Of course, they were more than welcome, and there was a lot of interdisciplinary discussion. So congratulations, PSU, for hosting some thinking of this kind, and we'll talk again.